It's good to have a very good wife. A wife that will be determined to project what you believe on, even though when you are not alive. He's a courageous man and he's a determined man. And when Yinka believes in any struggle, he will never compromise. The man we are celebrating here is a figure that will not forget in the history of this country. He's someone that laid down his life to fight for this democracy. Let's use the opportunity of this gathering and reshape our struggle and make sure that what we fought for at the end of the day, some politician will not put it in vain.
You know, while I was reading this book, I kept blaming Yinka. I said, rest. It's like he was alive. Because you could see he didn't want to rest. He would break down. The next moment, he's on the hospital bed making calls, granting interviews. So while reading, I said, rest now. You should rest. As if I was talking to him. Anyway, he is resting. I recommend this book to you. The first time I interviewed Yinka Odumakin, I went back convinced that this is not just an interview. I didn't see him as a guest at the end of the show. While I was editing the interview, I just said, I have found a friend. The points he articulated in that interview, they so suited my bias. I'm a journalist, fine, but I'm never neutral. I have my biases and I stand for them.
We must find a way to institutionalize this thing. Most especially because in the case of Odumakin, is just one of the few that even though he didn't hold any government position, his name resonates whenever it is mentioned for the good work that he did whilst alive, his struggle and so on and so forth. What we are trying to do with this kind of program is to let our people know that there are heroes you can look up to. People have struggled in this country. They have canvassed positions, they have agitated for the good of our people. And these are the people we are supposed to elevate, raise up for the younger generations to look up to and say, yes, these are worthy of followership. That is the essence of this program.
How many times in the last 4 years will I say, Yinka is not around, Umashio, we miss him. But then, how many times also in my lower period that I will say, hey, maybe it's good Yinka has even gone to rest. Because it's like around now, people are just deaf and dumb. But as to his legacy, it shall live on. Yinka, I used to tell him, was like an Oyinbo man who falls in love. When Yinka falls in love with you, he gives you everything. But the Oyinbo man, the day he says he's not loving you again, that is the end. And that was Yinka for you. The day he is with you on a struggle, be sure that he's there with you. The day you cross the line in a way he does not understand, he will become your worst enemy.
One issue that resonates right now, and quite unfortunately, and if Yinka too were to be alive, had been with us, is the issue of the judiciary, the capture of the judiciary, which is most unfortunate. And it is embarrassing if some of us, those of us who have written about judiciary for over 40 years, that we are now comparing the press judiciary with the military, that the military was even better, that the judiciary under the military was even better. We are being nostalgic, and I know that these are some of the issues in which Yinka will have weighed in seriously.
Yinka fought with his last breath for the causes he believed in. Obviously, if he was still alive today, he would still be in the trenches, literally speaking. fighting for the good of Nigeria. That is why his wife must be commended and encouraged for keeping his ideas, his dreams, and the memories alive in the way Yinka himself would have loved.
I want to thank Dr. Joe Okei-Odumakin for keeping my brother Yinka's memory alive. I am one of the few people who know Yinka Odumakin very privately. And the reason I do so is that he's one of my biggest reporters in Sahara Reporters. For everybody who is here, let's keep this circle very small, but don't ever let us abandon ourselves. One thing I noticed about this hall today is that there are friends and fair weather friends. It is those of us who have been his friends since the days of CD that are still here today. All the fair weather friends are gone.
All of us must see injustice to one as injustice to all of us. When we are gathered on this occasion, as I did say, when we are to bury our comrade and friend, Yinka Odumakin, as I'm here, we are not here to celebrate his wealth. No. We are not here to find how many houses he built. We are here to celebrate his consistency, his integrity, and his principles. And it's a challenge to all of us. It's not a question of, Yinka Tilo, yes, we can gather and be money forever. No. What we should do is to decide collectively here today that those things that Yinka stood for, we are going to continue to demand from the government and from the enemies of our people how to reorganize our country. We must ask questions. Yes. You know what I mean? So, and this is what Yinka will have done today. Will Yinka have been keeping quiet? No. Yinka will have been joining issues with the people in Abuja. And that is why we must continue to celebrate Yinka, not once a year, every day. And the only way we can do that is to identify with the masses of our people, to shake off the heavy load that these people have imposed on our people.
Dr. Joe Okei-Odumakin, but this morning when we are having our quiet time, we have to remember her in our prayer, and we always remember her in our prayer because it's a virtuous woman, a strong woman. But anytime when I was at OAU for my master's degree, all the lecturers, they will have to say, Pastor, we miss your brother. And when your brother is around, you could have fight for our money. You could have fight for this. We know him. And how is his wife? I said, the wife has been trying. She told me that half of our souls has gone. And I want to thank her for the courage. I want to thank her for her resilience. Every year, she always organizes this program to remember Yinka Odumakin.
Comrade Yinka Odumakin left with a part of me, a part of him that I keep will never grow cold, and is permanently buried in my heart. Yinka Odumakin, we should always remember what he embodied: selflessness, commitment. He was committed to justice, rule of law, human rights. We were friends for 3 years, and then we were married for 24 and a half years till his sudden exit. And one of the things Yinka hated in his life was to rest, but now he's resting. Comrade Yinka Odumakin, you left us 4 years ago. I'm rededicating myself, and you've seen all the people that are here. We are all committed to the ideals of Yinka Odumakin, because He will die in vain if we cannot keep up with his ideas, with his dreams, with his aspirations. So we are dedicating ourselves to that cause that you stood for and died for. On Yinka's dream we stand, on his ideas we stand.